Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Rama, Rama, Rama. Rama, 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 Rama. Rama, Rama, Rama. Rama, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Sarasvati, Mahalakshmi, Durga Devi, Namaha. Sarasvati, Mahalakshmi, Durga Devi, Namaha. Sarasvati, Mahalakshmi, Durga Devi, Namaha. Saraswati, 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 Mahalakshmi, Devi Namah Saraswati Mahalakshmi Durga Devi Namah Saraswati Mahalakshmi Durga Devi Namah Durga Devi Namah Durga Devi Namah.
ब्यूटीफुल। शिवराम, आप हमें अगला क्या गाना
हाँ,
सुना रहे हैं?
आ रहा है आवाज। मेरा आवाज आ रहा है अच्छे से? थैंक्स। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। 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 ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। पतित पावन सीताराम। आरना
शिवराम, हम आपको एक प्रॉपर हमारा सत्संग होता है थर्सडे, उसके लिए हम बुलाएंगे, है ना श्रुति?
हाँ, थैंक्स।
पक्का, it was very nice, awesome,
super.
मैंने बहुत बार सुना है, बट फर्स्ट टाइम गाया है तो थोड़ा बहुत मिस्टेक हो सकता है।
perfect था।
थैंक्स।
Perfect.
थैंक्स।
Both Sasha and Shivaram, they did super.
थैंक यू।
Yeah.
I'll also sing a very small short song. Okay. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaj Mana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam Navakanjalochana Kanjamukh Karakanjapad Kanjarunam Shri Ram Shri Ram कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरज सुंदरम पतपीत मानम तरित रुचि सुचि नवमी जनक सुतावरम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन भवन भय भवदारणं नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुख कर कञ्ज गज कञ्जारुणम् इति वदति तुलसी दास शङ्कर शीश मुनिमनरञ्जनम् मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादि खड्ग जाननम् श्रीराम श्रीराम श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन भवन भव भयदारुणम् तव कञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुख कज कञ्ज कद कञ्जारुणम् श्रीराम श्रीराम। So let's move on. This is one of my favorite topics, and I've asked one of my most favorite person to talk about it for the benefit of all the viewers. Over to you, Shruti. Let's talk about Ashtalakshmi.
Yeah, so yeah, when you talk about Devis or Shaktis, there's always a aspect to it that we have in our own selves. So if you see, there are 8 aspects of Lakshmi that is regularly worshipped, or maybe people know it like that. So just to start off with the Ashtalakshmi, I feel the first thing that really comes up to my mind is Adi Lakshmi. She is the one who is, the manifestation of all the Devis, and she's called as the Adi Lakshmi. And then we have the Dhana Lakshmi. The Dhana Lakshmi is nothing but the money, the Lakshmi Pujan that you did yesterday, that each one of us did yesterday. Then we have the Dhanya Lakshmi. The Dhanya Lakshmi is nothing but the food that we eat, the dhan. That's the Dhanya Lakshmi. Then we have the Gaja Lakshmi. Yeah, the innocence in people that we worship. Then we have the Santan Lakshmi. People having so many kids. So it's a wealth that we have. We also have something called as Dairya Lakshmi, like the Devi's valor, when invoked, it's like the Vahan of the Devi, the lion or the lioness that we invoke within ourselves. So Guruji always talks about this in the advanced course, that when nothing works out, courageously awaken the valor inside you. There we have the Dhairya Lakshmi. Then we have the Vijaya Lakshmi. Vijaya Lakshmi means anything that you basically do in your life is something that you will achieve. there is victory in that thing, you know. So that is called as the Jaya or the Vijaya Lakshmi. And this is always where we celebrate the Navratri also, after the 9 days, 8 days of tapas, when we just go through the, you know, victorious time. So that is one thing, you know, we Vijaya Lakshmi. And then we have the Vidya Lakshmi, which is the last one. Especially for people who have, like Sasha just sang the song on Saraswati, you know, that is how the Vidya Lakshmi is so, so important. So these are the 8 wealths that we have. And today being such an auspicious day of Ashtalakshmi, I think it's so nice that we are also discussing about it. Anything you want to add, Preeta?
Amazing. Let's quickly move on to listening to the Ashtalakshmi Stotram, and then we'll discuss the most amazing person that I think it is, Rama.
सुमनसवन्दित सुन्दरि माधवि चन्द्रसहोदरि हेममये मुनिगणवन्दित मोक्षप्रदायिनि मञ्जुळभाषिणि वेदनुते पङ्कजवासिनि देवसुपूजित सद्गुणवर्षिणि शान्तियुते जय जय हे मधुसूदनकामिनि आदिलक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् अयि कलिकल्मषनाशिनि कामिनि वैदिकरूपिणि वेदमये क्षीरसमुद्भव मङ्गलरूपिणि मन्त्रनिवासिनि मन्त्रनुते मङ्गलदायिनि अम्बुजवासिनि देवगणाश्रितपादयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदनकामिनि धान्यलक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् जय वरवर्षिणि वैष्णवि भार्गवि मन्त्रस्वरूपिणि मन्त्रमये सुरगणपूजित शीघ्रफलप्रद ज्ञानविकासिनि शास्त्रनुते भवभयहारिणि पापविमोचनि साधुजनाश्रितपादयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदनकामिनि धैर्यलक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् जय जय दुर्गतिनाशिनि कामिनि सर्वफलप्रदशास्त्रमयी रथगजतुरगपदाति समावृत परिजनमण्डितलोकनुते हरिहर ब्रह्म सुपूजित सेवित तापनिवारिणि पादयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदनकामिनि गजलक्ष्मीरूपेण पालय माम् अयि खगवाहिनि मोहिनि चक्रिणि रागविवर्तिनि रागमये गुणगणवारिधि लोकहितैषिणि सप्तस्वरभूषितगाननुते सकलसुरासुरदेवमुनीश्वर मानववन्दितपादयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि सन्तानलक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् जय कमलासिनि सद्गतिदायिनि ज्ञानविकासिनि गानमये अनुदिनमर्चित कुङ्कुमधूसर भूषितवासितवाद्यनुते कनकधारास्तुति वैभववन्दित शङ्करदेशिकमान्यपदे जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि विजयलक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् प्रणतसुरेश्वरि भारति भार्गवि शोकविनाशिनि रत्नमये मणिमयभूषितकर्णविभूषण शान्तिसमावृतहास्यमुखे नवनिधिदायिनि कलिमलहारिणि कामितफलप्रदहस्तयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि विद्यालक्ष्मी सदा पालय माम् धिमि धिमि धिं धिमि धिं धिमि धिं धिमि धुन्धुभिनादसुपूर्णमये घुम घुम गुं घुम गुं घुम गुं घुम शङ्खनिनादसुवाद्यनुते वेदपुराणेतिहाससुपूजित वैदिकमार्गप्रदर्शयुते जय जय हे मधुसूदन कामिनि धनलक्ष्मीरूपिण पालय माम् अष्टलक्ष्मी नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विष्णुवक्षस्थलारूढे भक्तमोक्षप्रदायिनी शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते विश्वरूपिणि ते जयः जगन्मात्रे च मोहिन्यै मङ्गलं शुभमङ्गलम्
Taking your own time, blessing everybody on this planet, the wish that all these 8 Lakshmis bless everybody. A big smile, you open your eyes. So today is the third and the final day. Happy Diwali. Thank you guys, all of you, for doing this with us. I'd personally like to thank Shruti, Vera, Sasha. Today Shivram has also joined us. Thank you so much for yet again, doing this second set of sessions. We'll have lots more coming in. So let's start with the topic. When we were discussing what should we talk, so we and Shruti were thinking maybe we'll talk on Devi, and then we thought, why not Rama? So I said, let's talk about Rama and people around him and who was he. And she said, yeah, let's do it. So that's how the first day we saw Urmila, Sita, then we saw about Hanuman, and today we speak about the Lord himself. So, first question out, I'll take it up with Shruti only is, Lord Rama, or maybe even any one of you can take it up. Yeah, it's called Purushottama. Purushottama is means the better or the exalted one amongst the men, the Uttama one, the better, a bit better than the normal people. That means that whenever you behave, deliver those tendency in which you are, better or positive than the normal people, you are called Purushottama. And so was Rama, Lord Rama called. What are the virtues that one can learn from Rama? Maybe we can elicit two or three virtues, each of you, and then we'll move on. Yeah, Vera.
Uh, well, there is actually so many qualities about Lord
Probably have
Rama.
two or three. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's it's a hard choice to say, but the first what comes to my mind is that though he was born to a royal family, yet he wasn't just as quite often happens with the kids born in rich families. They just enjoy life, and all they want is just just enjoy and don't care about anything and so on. But Lord Rama was very sort of not only curious, he was seeking for wisdom, for understanding this life. And this actually brought to us Yoga Vasishta. Yeah, that was his journey for the knowledge. Right? And second, Lord Rama is also known as a great warrior and the great husband, yeah, who just went, to all these troubles to save his wife, right? Then we can see in our society, people just, can abandon their husbands or wives like this, and he was the prince or king, right? So okay, if the wife is, stolen or something, you could just think, oh, I just get a new one, right? But he was so dedicated, so devoted to his partner, his wife. So he went to all the troubles to go and save her, right? So, and definitely he was brave, right? And the other thing, he was a good ruler, that's when you see him as a figure, you know, and he was a monarchy when in fact the king quite often just can do whatever he wants without even thinking about the people and stuff, right? It wasn't even like democracy, when it's sort of the power of the people. And yet, quite often, even in democracy, you have somebody who's a prime minister or president, and they are elected by people, yet they do something what is not in the interest of people, not in the interest of the country or nation. Yet, Lord Rama is shown as a perfect example what should be the good leader, look like, how should he act, to and show the belongingness to people and care for his country, so on.
Amazing.
So some other qualities, please.
Sure, where I'll just add up. I think I'll quickly say like what resonates with me about the qualities or the virtues of Lord Rama. I think one, I would definitely think of satisfaction. I think whatever he had, even a little less if it was given to him ever in his life, he wouldn't have been bothered about it. So I think that's a huge virtue that I want to take it from, or I resonate a lot. Secondly, I feel the spirituality part, the title of a king basically did not stop him from performing his spiritual practices or tapas. So, which is again a huge virtue. People born in good families and houses and, all that stuff, like Vera said, yeah, they all tend to, get misguided. But however, spirituality was at the core of Lord Rama. The third thing that I would really want to, or I resonate is loyalty that he showed. He never thought of a woman other than Sita in his entire life. That's how dedicated and devoted he was. Just because that's the virtue he carried of being, loyal. Apart from that, I always think that humility is another virtue that I want to connect with, because he never talked about his goodness or greatness. There's so many things that he has happened, or there's so many things that has literally made him go through the penance of 14 years. I mean, to make him a purushottam, I think he had to give his 14 years of his life. So that polishing that just came from the humility that he carried in himself. So he never talked about his goodness or greatness. So I think these are the things that I really want to resonate when I'm thinking of the virtues that he carried. Over to you, Sasha. Do you want to add up something?
Maybe that be like a king, walk like a king, but same time serve others around. It's very rare combination to be humiliated and same time to be so powerful and virtuous and not have arrogance. It's quite challenging. Therefore, he is called Purushottama, a best among men.
Amazing. James, would you want to add? Hi, James, welcome. Would you want to add what virtues do you, maybe a couple, one or two, that you can tell that you take it back? Before that, I'll quickly add, for me, it is the dignity that he withhold, the whole life. Like he had so many issues, but the dignity with which he went through all of them is what I really, like about him. So, James.
Yeah, I mean, when I see Ram, I just see like humbleness and like Prito was saying, dignity and just respect, and just very honorable. I like Ram and Krishna have like two different flavors. Like what I see from Ram is like very like, I don't know, just like by the rules and like very respectful of everyone and kind of just go along with the flow, I guess. Yeah. Happy
Amazing.
Diwali.
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
So, let's look at some other aspects with Rama. We'll start maybe with Shruti. Yeah. See, as a as a son, as a leader, as a father, as a husband, even as an opponent to the mighty Ravana, he just played the whole roles perfectly. So, would you want to touch upon that point, that Shruti?
So let's take it as a corporate style, uh, where we're just trying to understand, what actually happened. Like, how does this whole thing look like when you see it yourself in such a leadership position, and how do you want to take it through? So the first thing or the first triad that I can think of is one having a clear vision, that he was clear that he had to defeat the Rakshasas and rescue his wife Sita. So he did not get, anywhere, he did not get lost wherever he was. He had a very, very clear vision. I think even being a or handling responsibility of a son, he was very focused. He knew what he had to do. He did not get digress, or he just did not lose his path at any time. The second important feeling that I get when I see Lord Rama in the whole picture is organizing his resources effectively. Like, he trained the army of Sugriva with skills of facing enemies, and, getting them motivated for the vision of war. And then, he had an approach where he just went far and wide to just create his own alliances and strong networks, to strengthen his army, so that if he has to do this fight, how is he going to take it first? So it applies to us also, right? Well, often when we are working in an organization, we need to see our resources that we have and the timelines that we have. We need to end it up there. It could have otherwise gone long and long, never ending. The third value that I see as a leader, or if I have to just think, he was a team player. He just didn't, keep giving people instructions. You have leaders who just keep talking and talking and talking, but they just don't do anything for themselves. So literally, you will be like, oh, but he is not doing it, So Ram actually, if you see Ram, he has actually played the role, being one of the team members. And leading is not very difficult, but doing and leading is something that you need to have a skill. And not every leader has that skill. So when I see that Ram worked together with Lakshmana, he worked with Hanuman, he worked with Vanar Sena, he even used this, something that we humans will not think of, like squirrels. He used the squirrels to build the bridge, of the Lanka. So can you see how resourceful he can be? And I think that is what demonstrates how Ram actually was a very, very, good team player, who was, so well, organized to accomplish a mission and to help all the people get into that vision and mission of his. Yeah, so I think the responsibility of a leader is just not ordering stuffs, but is also how you're going to lead them. And the last thing that I want to really reflect upon is the firm belief that he had in each one of them, and he built up on their strengths, like I mean, if you see, Sri Ram's army was very inferior and less armed actually, yet they built upon it, under Ram's leadership. Like, Ram led it so well that he constantly motivated and guided people for success, and when the final bridge to Lanka was built, the rocks would also not sink when it was placed in the water. That's how well placed it was. See, the Vanar Sena got so disappointed and dejected कि ये क्या हो गया यार.
Great strategist. I really agree. Like एक पत्थर, there not even one rock fell.
Not even one rock. Can you believe it? I mean, yeah, and the way he kept reinforcing the entire steps, and the building of the bridge, which was so successful. And I think he kept reaffirming the belief that he had in his team. And that is what happens when you're in a team, when you just believe in the person whom you're with and count on his strengths, then I think you have a long way to go. And usually what happens is, people pull down people who have strengths. They keep talking so much that even if you had a strength you showed, they'll be like, no, how can this person show this leadership? I am the leader, so let's pull this person down. So I think that is what a leader shouldn't do ever in life. Like, one thing is, he has to be so firm that there are certain people and they have strengths, and let's work upon it. So I think that plays a very, very important role. But these are my lessons to take away. I leave the floor to Vera, James, to understand how leadership, Ram, and things can be like understood.
So I will ask Shivram. Shivram, आपका क्या, Shivram is with us from all the way from Maharashtra. Yeah. So, okay. Shivram, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि एक भाई की तरह, एक बेटे की तरह, एक पिता की तरह, एक गृहस्थ की तरह इतने अच्छे तरीके से हर रोल निभाया है श्री राम ने. तो इसमें आप क्या देखना चाहेंगे? इससे आपको क्या समझ में आता है? आपल्याला मराठीत बोलायचं असेल तरीही चालणार. लाईक आय पर्सनली फील दॅट मराठी इज सच अ रिच कल्चर, अँड सो दॅट सगळे जे तरुण आपले दर्शक आहेत त्यांना आपण काय सांगू इच्छिता शिवराम?
First of all, I want to say that my mother loves Rama and Shiva. That's why my name is Shivrama. And my point of view, Rama is our positive mind, and Ravana is our negative mind. We all experience that each and every time. Whenever we want, whenever we do good karmas, that time our Rama Tattva is awake in our body, in our mind, in our soul. And when we do bad karma, there is always Ravana. So uh, we have to do sadhana, satsang, seva. That can help us to be Rama, Shiv Rama. So
Amazing, amazing. Vera, what would you like to say about various roles? As Shruti gave a very different perspective, Shivram gave a very different perspective. What do you think? Like, one of the things that I want to say here is like you're a boss and you're a mother or a daughter-in-law. So you can't take that role of a boss when you're entering your house. And at the same time, when you're leaving your house, you can't be the daughter-in-law and start fighting, or if you have some issues with the mother-in-law or the maid, you can't take that issue back into your office. So that switching on and switching off, I feel, is very important. What do you think, Vera?
Yes, definitely. The example of Lord Rama is showing to us how many different roles he switched on, and how brilliantly he did it without any sort of thoughts that how can it be, I'm the king, I'm the born in a royal family, I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that, or just putting himself always, that I'm the best, I'm the king, and I'm just giving the orders and stuff and so on. I actually Shruti and Shiram, they very nicely just summed it up. And I would like to add one thing. If we remember this story, then how actually it happened that Rama was, had to leave the kingdom for 14 years. Yeah, when the second wife of his father, the king, she just had this agreement, with the father of Rama, that he promised her to do whatever she wants, just one desire, and she strangely, asked that I want, your son Rama to leave the kingdom, for 14 years, and what did Rama? He just followed that, because his father, he gave his word to his wife, right? And he had to do it. And Rama supported his father and showed the respect, to the elders. He showed the respect to his stepmother, even though what she did wasn't really the best thing to do, but he was so, how can I say, humble, right? And just accepted this, and supported his father, and he said, okay, I take this role, I take this step, and I will go, right? And Sita and Lakshman, they followed him. And the next thing is that because of his humbleness, because he was polite and kind person, and he was attracting the devotees and the other creatures and people to help him, right? So this is showing you, if your intentions are pure, you will attract those who want to help you and who want to be with you, right? And there are qualities, he didn't use them. It wasn't like he just attracts the people or somebody, the full followers and stuff, and start to use them just as as he wants. No, he just, the way he treated them was like equally, never just like putting somebody lower than him. No, he treated everybody with respect, with a like we just say, like this belongingness, right? And that's why all together united, they achieved all these great goals, and they did everything, right? And yeah, he was very wise to delegate the people, to empower them and inspire, not just blame them and say that, oh, you are bad, you cannot do this. No, you could see the talent in somebody, the best what this that person or that creature can do, and say, you can do that, and that makes him shine. So yeah, it's when you are let's say the diamond, you shine, and then you make the others shine. That's what I can say.
I completely agree. So many good qualities you, Shruti, Shivram elicited. We'll quickly, take it up with Sasha and James as well. What do you think about this playing various roles very effectively? What is your take on it? We'll go with Sasha. Sasha, you can sum up, and maybe even James can come in and express his views as well.
Well, Rama is Vishnu's avatar, operating life on the planet, and therefore he is able to manifest the way he was doing it. I think this is a perfect explanation, but for regular humans to achieve such a state of mind, it's kind of problematic issue. And also we don't have to forget that the time it was happening was Treta Yuga. It was previous Yuga, yeah, another Kalpa. And people were different, conditions were different. The world we know wasn't exist that time. It was so much different. How we can apply those qualities in our today's life when we are not able to go out and just start to talk with some strangers. And
Yeah, you should use your skills, but the knowledge can be reused. Yeah, James, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the notion of a leader is so like mistaken nowadays as someone who just tells someone what to do and all these things. But I see it as someone who could play the roles of every part, like a person that serves from the bottom, also telling people what to do. Like I see a great example as Gurudev, because Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, because I'll see him like planting a tree or something or doing something very, very minute. Yet it does matter at the same time. And another thing I saw from Rama is that he's very centered and poised. Like even though he lost Sita to Ravana, then he wasn't like super angry and he'd go take out his anger and try and attack him all at the same time. Yet he was very, like you were saying, organized and poised and able to talk to everyone and playing different roles as like a warrior, a leader, and like almost like a spiritual teacher as well. So very beautifully done.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So on this eve, we close our session today. But before going, I need one line, two lines from each one of you. One is, what was your experience this time doing this session? And the second thing is, if you have to give one line of uh, an advice or a suggestion of what is the meaning of Diwali, when everything gets culminated and it is divine celebration and we are particularly praying to the Lakshmi. Yeah, so what does Diwali symbolizes, or a festival like this, or a celebration where there's so much of light? What does it represent to each one of you? Yeah, we'll start with Vera, how was your journey this time?
Oh, it was amazing. It was beautiful, and this feeling of unity, that we all here from different parts of the world, and we are joining for this spiritual celebration with the songs, with the meditation and chants, with the discussion, and each one shares, their own views, which sort of enlarge your knowledge. So I think it's fantastic. It's lovely. Thanks to everyone, and I think the what advice or summary for the Diwali is, it's the light inside of you, the light that guides you through the dark times, and just keep it. Just keep it and don't lose it, or if you lose, just light it again, and it will lead you to the place where you have everything, where you need the knowledge and content and whatever. So happy Diwali to everyone.
Happy Diwali. Sasha, how was your journey this time? I was amazed the way you have sung songs 3 days. So soulful. Please let us know your experience and what is your message for Diwali for all our viewers.
I was thinking today about this, believe me or not, because in Estonia we have the most darkest time, like from the November, and especially from middle of November, and it is literally almost I don't know, 15 17 hours a day dark. And I was thinking why it is not celebrated here. It will be so useful to light lamps. It will be beautiful, and just it will have more value than our international New Year. Like, why not just celebrate Diwali too? This came to my mind today. And the message, yes, to be a light for your own self, to believe in own self.
How was collaborating with all of us again?
Yes, I'm looking forward. It's not easy. Sometimes body is resisting and you're feeling like lazy, etc. But
This time for all of us.
but I'm feeling very good, and I feel unity, and I really having a need to be in company of wisdom. It is not easy to find.
Beautiful.
I really appreciate.
Yeah, James, how is it? James, James is always there to all the audience who are watching us. This is our core team. They are always there. Vera and Shruti are like the most strongest pillars of this team. James is always there, and he ensures he's very, very, very busy during the weekends and with his, other stuff. But he ensures that he comes. So, James, how was your experience, being there for Diwali, and what is your message for Diwali?
It was really nice celebration yesterday. I would say it's not even like the lights or anything. I don't know. It was something with the positivity and the celebrations and just everyone wishing each other blessings and all these things. Lots of social connection. And I really enjoyed today's session today because so much talk about Ramayana. I really need to read it again, or maybe Gurudev will release a commentary on it or something would be nice. So really nice to refresh all the things about Ramayana. So really nice. And I would say like the message for Diwali is like keep celebrating, keep smiling.
How does it
Yeah,
feel to
thank
meet
you.
all of us once again?
Yeah, it's nice to be here. I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I made it again. Thank you. All the best.
Shivram came in new. Shivram, how was your experience? How was your experience with this, bunch of wise, amateur people, or I can say wise people? And what is your message for Diwali?
Happy Diwali.
Great. I'll share my experience. Thank you guys to each one of you for always believing in all the crazy ideas, taking out your time, especially, Vera, Shruti, Sasha, James. I think we truly, our eyes and hands and hearts for each other, though we stay separate and various parts of the world. Thank you so much. Without each one of you, none of this would have been possible. And I really wish that Christmas is coming soon and we can have something very big even for our Christmas. And with this, I will hand it over to, shall I say, partner in crime, or or the better half, or the twin. You can call it Shruti. All over to you, baby. How was it this time? What is your message? Yeah, my message for Diwali is Happy Diwali, guys. Shruti.
And for me, I'll tell you guys, like it starts for us with just the thought that each one, me and Preeta will come up with, and then the whole story is just the beginning from there. And it has been very effortless. Let me tell you, like if any of us come up with any idea, when we just even brainstorm and think, we get a very different perspective of how we have to lead this. So I think a lot of planning, a lot of we do things which involve a lot of planning, but I'll tell you, we don't just focus on it. It just keeps happening. So I can feel the grace whenever we want to do any session that is online. And then the best part is when I'm seeing all of us, just so much in sync, just a call and everybody is there for us. So that is another thing that I really, really love about the team. I've never heard a no from each one of them. It's like they're just ready to, barge on and just take on this ride that we want to go through. The second thing that I noticed in the whole process of 3 days is how beautifully Shasha has come up with her own skills of strumming and singing the song. I mean, it's beautiful, just beautiful. Yeah. Vera, thank you so much for always being there. Your wisdom is really, really deep. James, thank you for coming in. And of course, Shivram, thank you for joining the gang. Preeta, all my heart and love, always, always with you. And let's keep doing some more crazy stuff.
One more person we all need to thank. Any guesses?
Guruji.
Guruji!
Guruji!
Jai Gurudev.
And the only message that I have for my this Diwali is, I think it's a lot about hope. After all the darkness that we go through in our lives, there is still that one ray of light that persists. So just the hope is something that you should take up. All of us should take up by just lighting the lamp within ourselves and just brightening our days as well as the days of people around us. So with this, a very, very happy Diwali and a very prosperous new year and new beginnings. May you all shine bright and keep smiling.
Happy Diwali!
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali.
Day.
Jai Gurudev.
Bye, guys.
Jai
Bye,
Gurudev.
guys.
Hey,
Shivram.
before we go, we are taking one course from the 20th, 21 until 23rd. Guys, it's a birthday week. I have my birthday. Shruti has my birthday. So if you really want to give us a good birthday gift, do send people for the course. And until then,
Amazing.
Okay.